Spurs, Knicks, game 3 tonight in New York City. Can the Spurs get a win in the NBA Finals? Happy Monday and happy Spurs Day. Welcome back to Spurs in Focus right here on YouTube, iTunes, YouTube Music, Amazon Podcasts. Seriously, pick a platform. We are there. Spotify. Go subscribe right now. Go also subscribe on the Substack side of things. Spurs in Focus Substack, completely free. Sign up today. I'm your host, Jeff Garcia, longtime Spurs writer in San Antonio. I know it's a big game tonight. You thought game 2 was big? This game's even bigger. Game 3, Spurs are down 0-2 to the New York Knicks, not your New York Knicks. Yeah, getting confused. I used to live in New York for like 20 years, so I'm a Spur. I'm rooting for the Spurs. Okay, I'm not rooting for the Knicks. All right, but yeah, your Spurs are up against it, man. 0-2, they got to win, and they're going to. When I say hostile territory, it's like with a capital H, underlined, highlighted. I mean, this New York is going to be rocking. They're already talking a lot of smack right now, in case you haven't seen on social media. So we're going to be talking about the series so far. What do we got to see the Spurs do tonight in New York City to get a W? Give our predictions. We're going to react to what Vegas says. Yeah, we'll give you the betting line right now. We're going to buy or sell that. So much more on this episode of Spurs in Focus. Going to bring in our guest. He is back, everybody. Filling in for Mr. Rudy Campos, who unfortunately could not make it today. He is Ray C. You want to follow him on X at, you see it on your screen, RREYVING. And I heard, Ray, is this true that you were actually the model for He-Man in Master Universe movie? Like you were the CGI model?
You know what can I say? They offered me a lot of money, and I said, you know what? I had to show off the guns, you know?
Make sure to follow him on X, everybody. Again, you see him on your screen right there, RREYVING. Go follow him right now. Ray, let's get into it, man. Game 3 is tonight. It's not in San Antonio anymore. This time it's in New York City, and you've been seeing it already online and social media. Knicks fans they ain't holding back. They're talking crap about the Spurs. They are calling them vulgar words, and they're stalking them at their hotel, chanting the worst things you can think of. They are into it, and okay, fine, you get it. New York City hasn't been in this situation for long losses. 1999 was the last time the Knicks had a chance to win the title. Luckily, the Spurs won that one. But nevertheless, let's look back at the series so far. All right, the Spurs are down. They don't want to be in this position, 0-2. But what have you been noticing so far through the first 2 games? What do you like, or maybe what don't you like, what you're seeing out of this team?
What I like from this team is that we have an offense that flows, right? We could get a lead going. However, the thing that I hate that we've kind of settled, especially in the OKC series, is they keep settling for threes, especially when they have a 13, 14-point lead. Look, this is team basketball. The Spurs are known for the team basketball. I've been seeing a lot of ISO from them when they have those leads. We need to attack the basket, and that kind of goes to taking Jalen Brunson out. But offensively, I like what we're doing outside of the three. We're getting to the line. We're getting to the rim. Dylan Harper has been phenomenal, probably keeping San Antonio kind of close, especially the first 2 games, but that's what I've loved.
Yeah, for me, I'm going to go the opposite. What I don't like so far is that they're all over the map when it comes to offense and defense. If you look at some of the numbers, Ray, their offensive rating is 102.6, which is good. I mean, just bad, because throughout the playoffs, they've been having an offensive rating of 115.1. Now, overall, Ray, through the playoffs, they're actually 3rd in offensive rating, but you're seeing what the Knicks are doing defensively. They're bringing them down to 102.6. Yeah. Defensively, right now in this series through 2 games, they're at 109.4 defensive rating. Right, fine. They upped it. Actually, they didn't. They actually, are allowing them to score just a few more. They're actually 2nd in the NBA playoffs overall at 106.5 defensive rating. Ray, for the first time in this playoff run, the Spurs are in the minus in net rating. You look at the Portland series, they were a plus 12.3 net rating. Against the Minnesota Timberwolves, they were a plus 16.5 net rating. Against the Thunder, they actually were a plus 3.3. But in this series, Ray, they're a minus 6.8. And I think it's just that Knicks defense, man. What I'm seeing so far through 2 games is the Spurs are finally playing a team that's 100% healthy. And these Knicks are not a young team like the young Blazers or, yes, the young Thunder. This is a group of guys that they're older men, and they've been there, they've done that. Look at Cat, got to the Western Conference Finals a couple times. Brunson, he's gone deep in the postseason. You can't forget Bridges. He's gone to the NBA Finals with the Suns. But this is a group of guys that are healthy, they're hungry, and they're in an amazing level. Now, you got to tip your cap to the Knicks. They're having a phenomenal playoff run, just as, maybe even better than the Spurs. But Ray, let me ask you though, do you think we're finally starting to see the Spurs inexperience show?
Oh, big time. I mean, we were chucking it up to the OKC series, talking about, well, we've had their number in the regular season. It took it to 7, be like, all right, our inexperience showed. But this series, game 1, you could tell they had that nervous factor in the first quarter, slowly kind of jolted out, but that inexperience in terms of switching on the defensive end, settling for shots, that's something that you see the Knicks do. You look at the possession they had in game 2, where he had Mikal Bridges set up in the 3 for the corner. That's not inexperience. That's a vet-led team. And right now, this team, I hate to say it, they're not playing the best basketball that we've seen. They're still playing that hero ball. And you're in the finals. You can't do that anymore. It's team. It's team first.
Ray, it's also, too, you're seeing this Spurs team, that is, they're not playing 4 quarters. You're getting, in a game 1, they had a solid first half, and then they just fell apart in the second half. All right, fast forward to game 2. They had a horrible first half. It was decent. I should say horrible. It was decent. I mean, they were kind of in it. And then they finally wake up, in the second half, and, it was just too little too late. So we haven't really seen this team play 4 periods. Now, after game 2 and all the media sessions that the Spurs have had, they seem confident, and they're going to say the right things. Like I say, well, darn it, we're down 0-2. We know the history. No team's ever done that. But they feel confident. Ray, do you agree with the Spurs when they collectively say, it's just a few cleanup things? Because a lot of them feel that this should be 2-0 in the Spurs' favor right now. Do you think the Spurs are hurting themselves, or do you think the Knicks are really taking control of the series?
I think it's a little bit of both, especially like game 1. I could say that's definitely the Knicks. Spurs had that 14-point lead. Jalen Brunson just activated. Game 2 is where exactly. Game 2 is where I feel like that is the cleanup mess on the Spurs, because it's kind of inexcusable the third quarter to not really do much. Maybe 5 minutes into the fourth is when you finally, wake up and all that. But the Spurs, I mean, this series so far, 2 games in, it just, I don't know. I can't really sit there and say, oh yeah, it's just, they need to clean up more. Like, this isn't the series to do that, because as we're seeing, Spurs are down 2 games. All it takes is literally game 3, and they can crush that like momentum and kind of that confidence for the Spurs heading into game 4.
Yeah, exactly. And you're when I say I want to go back to the inexperience. For my opinion, I think we're starting to see a little bit of that. Castle, man, he needs to learn how to control his pace better. He really wants to force action sometimes, and sometimes he doesn't need to. We see him just like crash into everybody and throw his body around. I don't think you need that as well. I mean, some play calling. Maybe Mitch should not have gone to Wemby for the final shot in game 2. De'Aaron Fox was your hottest hand, and he didn't go to him. So you're seeing just a little signs of inexperience, even from the coaching staff to the players, especially in game 2. So I think you're starting to see a little bit. Also, too, Ray, do you think maybe, just maybe, they were celebrating a little too early when they beat the Thunder? It felt like, they acted like they won the title after the Thunder series was over.
See, so I'm actually somebody that defended that, because look, we took the defending champs to game 7. Now, granted, maybe they could have scaled back in terms of how they celebrated it.
Yeah.
But we just took out the defending champs. Everybody was counting out the Spurs in that series. But I do agree. Maybe you could be like, all right, celebrate, have your fun, but you still got 4 more games to go. Don't get overly too excited. Plus, it's still a young team, so I guess you're still seeing, hey, this is a lot of their first finals, and you never know. Some of the vets that we have may not even be here next season, so they're trying to like enjoy it the best they can.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Nevertheless, it's like I see signs that they just got to clean up some things. But at the same time, I'm also thinking like, man, oh man, At minimum, Ray, maybe this series should be 1-1. I'll give the Knicks, maybe they took that first game. The second game, I think the Spurs were having a great momentum. They took back the lead. They were hanging on to the lead barely in the fourth period, and then we saw the turnover, or the worst possible time for a turnover from Wemby, throwing it off Castle's back, and then he commits the foul. He sends Brunson to the free throw line. Brunson makes the game-winning free throw shot, and then he clanks the final shot attempt. So it was not a good ending for Wemby, despite his heroics in the second half to at least lead the Spurs to a chance to get game 2. Unfortunately, that did not happen. Let's go ahead and focus on tonight's game 3, Spurs Knicks. Let me show you my 3 keys that I got to see the Spurs do to hopefully get a W tonight out of Madison Square Garden. I need Wemby for 4 periods, man. I need him for 4 periods. This good half, bad half thing has to stop, Ray. It has to stop. Or let's put him in focus right now and look at some of the numbers that we're seeing from Wemby in the series here. Now, he's putting up decent numbers, like 27.5 points per game, 10.5 rebounds, 2 assists, but he's barely a plus 1.5 for the team. That plus minus has got to be higher than that. And if you look at just what he's doing, like in the first half as compared to the second half. So throughout the finals, Ray, Wemby's averaging in the first half about 8 points per game and 3.5 rebounds. That's it. And 1 assist. Wow. 1 assist. And he's only getting to the free throw line about 4 times. And he's shooting 33%. Now, let's fast forward to the second half. In the second half, you see a different guy. In the second half, throughout the first 2 games, he's 19.5 points in the second half, 7 rebounds, 1 assist, and he's connecting on at least 2 3-point makes, and he's getting to the line about 6 times. So that's not going to cut it. He needs to shoulder the load for 4 periods, 2 halves. I got to see Wemby for 4 periods. Second one is maintain leads and pedal to the metal. Ray, even if the Spurs are up by 12 points going into the 4th period, that's still not comfortable against this Knicks team. They'll see 12 points and be like, whatever. We came back from 20-something. We can get this. If they get the lead, they need to maintain it. I understand they're going to make their runs and everything, but don't let go of those leads. So tonight, if they're up by double figures or they're up at all, just maintain that and pedal to the metal. Just do not relent. And finally, I'm really worried about Brunson. They got a key on him. I got a feeling that he might erupt tonight. We haven't seen a Brunson eruption game. Now, credit the Spurs. The Spurs did a great job versus SGA in the Thunder series. SGA didn't really have an SGA game until Game 7, but by that time it was too little too late. But the series is still young, this series. Brunson has yet to go off. So I'm saying watch for that. Watch for that. What do you think?
Well, I kind of agree on your first takeaway. I do believe for myself that Wemby has to play for the 4 periods, especially in that first half, like you're mentioning. I think you said it was 8 points in the first half?
Yeah. Yeah, that's it. That's all he's averaging in this series, in the first half.
You cannot have that. As the number 1 option on this team, you cannot have around 8 points in the NBA finals. That's just you could say it's an experience.
Well, in the first half, Ray. In the first half.
Okay.
That's what he's at.
Okay.
Yeah. But overall, he's still putting up good numbers, but it's not enough.
Exactly. And we've seen how he can flip that switch, but these are tighter games. That switch needs to be activated by the time the ball is up in the air and you guys get it. Second takeaway for me is going to have to be the bench. Keldon Johnson, Luke Cornett, Carter Brandt, Harrison Barnes. They need to do something in this series. It's bothering me that we see Cornett go in maybe for like 2 or 3 minutes and it sparks a lead change or a lead difference for the Knicks. Keldon Johnson, I love the guy, but you need to hit some shots. Don't just go straight to the rim every possession. That's just inexcusable. You got to hit those shots. But we need our bench. That's kind of what was a reason why we dropped games against OKC. It was that bench unit. We couldn't compete with OKC's in the earlier games. And lastly, I got to say, I think Brunson, go on him on the defensive end. I don't know how tall he is. He's not the tallest guy on the court. Wemby or Castle, Harper, anybody Get the mismatch on him. Take it to the rim. He's not going to guard you. He's going to foul you more than anything. Defensively, I think we're doing a good job. He's been shooting off. I know he's still getting his 20, 30 points, but it's going to come down to stopping Brunson or offensively taking him to the rack. And just another key I'll add, kind of subreddit that one. You got to stop Karl Anthony Towns.
Yeah.
There's got to be a way to try to contain him. Let him take the shots. Just don't let him get in the paint. I'm fine with him being maybe 50% from three, but once he gets in the paint, he starts getting a groove, and we saw that in game 2.
Absolutely. We're here with Ray C, previewing tonight's Spurs Knicks game 3. Spurs are down 0-2. They cannot go down 0-3. It's bad enough already, but if they just win one game, it's a series. So let's talk about that coming up next, right here on Spurs in Focus.
Secret powers were revealed to me the day I held aloft my magic sword and said, "By the power of Grayskull, I subscribe to Spurs in Focus."
Ray, did you see the Master of the Universe movie already?
That was peak. Yes, I've seen the movie. Chills.
Yes, chills, man. You know, I've been saying this on X, and I think you would agree, man. I think Leto brought it, man. He brought it as Skeletor, man.
Surprised the heck out of me.
Yeah, I was like, ho, that's Skeletor. I mean, the way Leto did like the comedic, funny, quirky side of him to the absolutely brutality and the terrifying mode of him, I mean, it was just chef's kiss. All right, but that's a quick little nerd out right now with me and Ray. Thank you for checking out this episode of Spurs in Focus. Don't forget to subscribe on YouTube, iTunes, Spotify, Amazon Podcast. Subscribe to Spurs in Focus Substack right now. He is Ray C. Follow him on X at RREYVING, and the actual model for the CGI of He-Man. Yeah, they had to find the buff guy, and they found him with Ray. We're previewing tonight's Spurs Knicks Game 3 NBA Finals. Ray, let's talk a little bit more now. The Spurs are down 0-2. We get it. It's still the first to 4. Yes, they could win, and if they just win one of these next 2 games, it's a series. It's all you need. You just need one. But Ray, if they were to lose tonight and go down 0-3, do you think that's really a wrap? More so when they're saying right now that they're saying it's a wrap for the Spurs, but if they win, it's a series. But down 0-3, it's a wrap, isn't it?
Unfortunately, I mean, everything that we thought coming into this game, if it doesn't happen tonight, we're gonna see new champs by Wednesday. And
yeah,
it ends a tough season, but we got to remember too, nobody was expecting us to come to the finals.
Mm-hmm.
We were expected to be a 40 win team, barely making the play-in. So to get here, it's amazing. Obviously, the offseason will bring what it brings. Maybe we get somebody, but it's a tough way to end the season. But that just means there's a chip on the shoulder for everybody on that roster. And now next season's going to be like, all right, now time to redeem yourself. This is our 2013 moment, basically, I like to say.
Yeah, it really is. Yeah, if they go down 0-3 after tonight, it'll be tough. You have to beat the Knicks. Oh, my God. What is that? 4 straight? Yeah, you have to beat them 4 straight. And with the Knicks having a chokehold on home court advantage, they got it. And then they can afford a loss in the gym. They'll still be fine. That's even tough. But you're right. Nobody expected the Spurs to be here. Everybody expected them to be 40-ish wins, second round at best, play in at worst case scenario. But here they are. And, kudos to them that they took advantage of the opportunity. And here they are. And even if they were to drop this game tonight, hopefully they don't. But if they do, I mean, lessons learned from better communication. Wemby, Castle turnover, remember that. Better play calling for Mitch. And you're seeing things about this roster. A part of me thinks that maybe this roster wasn't constructed for a deep run. Super deep run.
I kind of agree. I think in the sense of we didn't have a big. Yes, Luke Cornett was here, but I think it's one of those things where maybe he's here to mentor Wemby, and the regular season, it's the regular season.
Mm-hmm.
But I think next season, depending on, again, who knows? Maybe we go all the way to 7. We don't even know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
But I think in the offseason, whatever happens, we got to get another big to help Wemby because we're seeing the effect of Wemby trying to play all the quarters. And the one time we're going to need him in the clutch, he's exhausted. He's tired. Nobody's doing anything on his end. And Luke Cornett's getting bodied. And it's just we're going to need another big. And I kind of agree. Our guards kind of helped us. They, made that extra step. But right now, that depth and, that inexperience, like we were talking about, it's showing up right at the worst possible time.
Like I said, what other little glimmer of hope you have is that these games have been close. The Knicks haven't wrecked the Spurs, where, oh my God, the Spurs lost by 20 or something like that. That has the largest was game 1, 10-point lead, and then that was a margin of victory for the Knicks. It was a 10-point win. So the Knicks really haven't been wrecking them. And the Spurs did have that comeback in the second half of game 2 to make things interesting. Unfortunately, just some stupid errors down the stretch got to them, and the Knicks survived. So that's a little glimmer of hope. It's a big glimmer of hope, I should say, Lord. It's a big one. So the Spurs are right in it. They just, as Mitch and the guys have been saying, they got to play their brand of basketball. So we'll see if they'll play their brand of basketball, which is faster pace. The Knicks have been controlling the pace. There's sometimes, I think especially in game 2, I was like, oh my God, we're still in the first quarter. Like, oh my God, we're still in the third period. Like, what the hell? Yeah, that's their better butter. But
you're right. It has felt like that, especially in the second quarter. I'm like, okay, it's already it's barely the second with 8 minutes. Like, it's long.
Yeah.
But it's such a defensive battle. You look at the halftime scores for each game. Very low scoring until that second half. But like you're saying, they're right there. They need one stop. They just need one stop or to keep a lead, and this it's gonna flip. Now, the chance that they win, I think that now shifts momentum over to the Spurs because now there's more pressure on the Knicks.
Yeah,
try to close out this series. You thought it was a sweep. It's not gonna happen now.
Yeah,
there's that pressure to be like, can we go end it in San Antonio, or do the Knicks somehow fumble this 2-0 start?
Yeah,
and we go to 6.
Man, I mean, that'd be great, but they're playing in MSG. Yeah, I think this is right. I mean, I'm pretty sure you or all the people watching right now will correct me, but help me out, everybody. I believe Ray Wemby has never won in New York City.
I don't think so. He's had career nights.
Yes, I had career nights. Yes, you're right.
But I don't think he's won. Yeah,
I don't think the Spurs, since the Wemby era began, they've never won in New York City. Again, if I'm wrong, everybody just leave a comment. But even if he did, it's been like a very bad record in MSG. It's something about these Knicks, man. They got the Spurs number. I don't know if I told you this, but did you know this season? So let's go to the regular season, right? So the Knicks, one of the rare teams to have a winning record versus the Spurs. All right, number 2. In the entire 82 season, the Spurs' lowest total output was against the Knicks. All right. Then the Knicks beat them in the cup. All right.
Right.
And then in the playoffs, the Knicks are the first team to hold the Spurs to like their lowest scoring output in the playoffs. They just got in. Sometimes the team has your number, but I think the Spurs they're like right there. Ray. You can see it's like, just play with intensity from beginning to end. Don't let up. If Harper is the hot hand, play him.
You got to
play him. That's the other thing too, Ray. It feels sometimes that the Knicks don't have an answer for Harper. Is it me, or are you seeing that too?
No, I'm seeing that. I mean, since game 1, I think he was the youngest rookie to score double digits in the first half or quarter.
Yeah,
they have nothing for him, and like you're saying, if I'm Mitch, you got to ride that hot hand. Yes, you could do what you got, the game plan to get you to the finals, but Harper's emerging. You got to go with the hot hand right now. It's like saying if the Warriors didn't give Curry a time to let him do his thing in the finals. I mean, you're comparing a vet to a rookie, yeah, but you gotta ride the hot hand. It's just plain and simple. Fox, he had his off night. He came back game 2, but can he sustain that? That's the big question too. Can Fox sustain that, scoring 20 plus a night? And is he willing to be like that in the tough series?
Yeah, exactly. In the finals, you brought up Fox. In the finals, 13.5 points per game, 3.5 rebounds, 5 assists in about 36 minutes of play for De'Aaron Fox. And the plus minus, he's a +1 right now for San Antonio. Now, inside the 3-point line, Ray, he's shooting about 47%. From the 3 line, he's actually about 33% shooting. Now, if we dig deeper, he's Mr. Clutch, right? So let's just see. He has scored 0 points in the clutch versus the Knicks.
Sounds about
yeah, 1 assist. He's only playing 4.2 minutes in clutch time. You look at the second half. In the second half, in the first 2 games versus the Knicks, he's averaging 5.5 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists, and he's 0 in the plus minus. And he's only playing about 19 minutes. So, and look at that. I mean, you're talking about Wemby playing a complete game. We need Fox to play the complete game too. 5.5 points per second half through the first 2 games versus the Knicks. Not going to cut it. Not going to cut it at all, Fox. He needs to rise his level. All right, Ray, we've been noting, and yes, everybody, we're not reading the parade. Ray and I have been talking about there are signs that the Spurs are in the games, even though they're down 0-2 from the comeback, from Wemby's performance. We highlighted Harper. So there are things that they can get. They just got to put it together. Now, before we give our predictions, let's see what Vegas says about tonight's game. Ray, buy or sell this. The Knicks are a favorite by 2.5 points. You going to buy that or you going to sell that?
I'm going to sell that. I think I'm actually going to reverse it. I'm going to say the Spurs by 2 points. I think they could pull it off. Right now, the momentum that they have in that fourth quarter, I think you're going to have to carry that, and I think they can.
Yeah, it's tough, man. For me, I know it's Brunson's team. I get that, but I need to see this guy get in control, Cat. You're right. Cat, I mean, I've never seen a guy handle Wemby the way he's handling Wemby. I mean, he is making him
neither.
He's wrecking him, man. He is wrecking him. It just from his size to his ability to stretch the floor, the ability to get to the rim. Wemby has to respect Cat's outside shooting. He's a veteran. He has experience. But I need them to control him. I'm with you on that. I meant to say that earlier in the show. Like, I'm with you. As much as Brunson is a problem, that guy has been a problem, Cat. Throwing on the Spurs side. I think if they can keep Cat under control, I think the Spurs do win tonight, but I don't think it's going to be that close. I agree with you. I think it'll be a close game. I got the Spurs winning by 4 or 5 around there, but it's going to be another slugfest, another battle. I think the Spurs got to weather that fan storm to start the game because that MSG is going to be loud.
Oh, yeah.
Loud. And it's the Mecca. It's MSG. It's New York City. You can't tell me the hype is real because it is real. Those Knicks fans, you think getting heckled in San Antonio is an issue? Wait till those Knicks fans heckle the Spurs, and they're going to be sitting courtside. And these Knicks fans, they paid the money, and they'll be shouting expletives that we probably can't repeat here at the Spurs too. So all that come together, man. The bright lights. Can they survive the bright lights of New York City in the NBA Finals? That's going to be tough, man. That's going to be tough. All right. So, Ray, you're going with the Spurs by 2.5, huh?
I am. I'm going to go with Spurs.
Okay. I'm going to go with Spurs by 4 or 5 points. So, I'm going to give them 4.5 points there. So, they have to win this tonight.
They have to.
It's, we always say this is a must. Like, oh, this game is a must win. This is a must. I actually would elevate it a little higher, Ray. I'll say it's do or die.
It is.
I think you're really bound to that. Would you agree?
I know 100% because we seen the clips of them, Wemby, Keldon, and they're kind of laughing. The confidence is there. Mm-hmm. If they lose this game, unfortunately, that means that confidence is gone. No team has ever come back down 3-0. Yeah, LeBron did it, with the Cavs 3-1. But who on this team is gonna be our LeBron that isn't Wemby, if that makes sense? Who's gonna be that second-hand guy to? If Wemby has an off night, could it be Harper? Could it be Fox? Vassell's been very quiet these first 2 games. Mm-hmm. Who on this team is going to help Wemby? Because right now, it seems like it's just Harper at the moment, Wemby in the second half.
Yeah. Man, Ray, I'm nervous, man. I'm nervous.
I'm nervous. It's been
very quiet in San Antonio. There's been no honking of the car horns at all. It's been very quiet. I live in downtown San Antonio, and I would say it's been silence. I need to hear some noise. I need to hear noise, Spurs. So come on, get the W, get the fans out there to go honking and celebrating responsibly, everybody, and don't be acting knuckleheads. And it should be good. All right, we're done talking. We got to hear from you. We talked about our thoughts through the first 2 series. Ray, he highlighted the bench. He highlighted how Harper, is a thorn on the Knicks side. I mentioned, I actually gave you my 3 keys, from more Wemby, or consistent Wemby, I should say, and to keep an eye on Brunson. And as Ray highlighted, Cat's been a problem. Cool. What do y'all think? Let Ray know on X at RREYVING. Follow him right now. He is Ray C. Follow me on X at Jeff G Spurzone. Ray, thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to join us here and filling in for Rudy, man. He owes you a beer, man.
Hey,
Rudy, you owe him a beer, man.
there you go.
Yeah, or a protein shake to maintain that He-Man physique, man.
I'll take the protein shake instead. Okay. Give me that.
All right, Ray. Thank you so much again for joining us here at Spurs in Focus. Everybody else, we thank you all for making Spurs in Focus your first and only spot for all things San Antonio Spurs. Ignore the rest. Unsubscribe to the other channels. You want to come here only to Spurs in Focus on YouTube, obviously, YouTube Music, Amazon Podcast, Apple iTunes, Spotify. Go follow us right now. Subscribe to Spurs in Focus on Substack. It's free. It's completely free. Just hit subscribe and you're part of the crew. Do that ASAP. I think we'll be back tonight. Yeah, we'll be back tonight. Rudy's going to join me tonight for a live reaction to Game 3. Hopefully it's a win. So stay tuned for that and more. So for Mr. Ray C, or I should say Ray Prince Adam Ray C. Jeff Garcia. Yeah, I am Jeff Garcia, and now you're in focus with Spurs in